And it goes a little something like,
Oh, how can love you warm all summer and after? Oh, I'll keep you warm all summer and after. Oh, I'll keep love.
Welcome back, everyone, to the SkolNBolts podcast. I am your host, Zafa, alongside my co-host,
Cactus. How's it going?
Welcome back, everybody. Quick note before we start. Thank you so much for all the warm feedback on episode 1, our first ever podcast. It did immensely better than either of us had thought it would, and it's still being viewed by more people than we thought. Our Twitter has been, slowly, creeping up in followers and getting a lot of engagement, which is great. A lot of great feedback, and, Cactus, a lot of the great feedback we've gotten have been from fellow Chargers fans, which is pretty cool to see.
Man, I don't know. It was funny. So like last night you were Twitch streaming, and we were talking about football on there, and one of your friends was like, "Oh, Chargers have fans." And the funny thing is, I mean, there are Vikings fans in there, but a lot of the ones like where people are giving me feedback and letting me know about all this stuff and following the Twitter and helping us out, like the guy who made our profile picture on there and our header, a lot of them are Chargers fans, and you love to see it. It's
cool.
Gotta break away from we don't have fans. We're proving it. We'll prove it.
Yeah, it's cool. We touched on that last week, and it's proven true just in the past week or so since we uploaded our first podcast. Chargers fans are coming out in bunches, which is pretty dang cool, and we're excited to continue moving forward. But some great news, Joe, is starting tomorrow. There's an actual NFL football game on tomorrow night with the Hall of Fame game, which is super exciting.
It's always been since I was a kid and was able to actually watch football and stuff like that. Even the Hall of Fame game, even though they don't really try and it's not like a a big thing, it signifies that we're getting close, we're getting back, and football's coming. So, and the Raiders and Jaguars, I mean, it's not really that big of two teams, but it's football nonetheless. So I'm very excited to finally watch some football.
Yeah, even if it's not so much competitive, it's just like you said, it just signifies the start of the season. We're just a little over a month away from the regular season kicking off. A lot of a lot of excitement. And
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's an elongated holiday for me. It's just, I don't know, the whole starting of OTAs, training camp. It's just it's exciting. I don't know. I don't really know how else to explain it. Football's a huge part in my life, so
absolutely
anything I can get is huge. So I'm very excited.
100%. I'm with you. Training camp underway officially. It's training camp. I don't go to the training camps usually just because I'm busy. I work. You know how that is. But I always try and
What's the Vikings training camp? Isn't that always down in Egan or something far from the cities?
It is, yeah. And this year I think is the first year that they actually started charging to get in. So it's not
really?
Free. Yeah.
Did you see what they put on the big screen or whatever at the game? They were like, Vikings fans, please refrain from taking videos or photos or anything. That was funny. That's funny.
Don't help the opponents kind of thing. Yeah.
That was funny.
And I have seen a lot of people on Twitter that are there where they won't videotape any kind of actual drills or scrimmaging other than one-on-ones, which it doesn't really tell you anything as far as formations go. So hopefully Viking fans will actually stay true to that. But one thing about training camp is I always, try and follow, the current topics and the news that's going on. And there's been quite a bit of it over in here in Minnesota. A little bit of drama as far as, injuries go. News yesterday for the Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. just coming back finally. He just underwent surgery on his thumb, which is worrisome, but, you know, O'Connell seems to be very confident that he'll be ready by the opener. I don't know. You kind of need your thumbs when you're playing tight end, but I guess
we were talking about it last week about him too, how you were excited to see him
Yep.
in the on the offense. That's very ironic.
Yeah, maybe it's time to give old Eric Ebron a call, see what he's up to.
Man, I always liked him, even when he was with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked him. I always liked him.
Yeah, never had a problem with him.
Not a solid number one, but he'll get you the job done.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, Irv Smith will be okay, but I'm hoping that we're not going to be severely missing Tyler Conklin, because I actually liked him.
I was about to say, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
The only other like real injury issue that I saw for the Vikings yesterday was Dalvin Cook suffered a hand injury, but from what I read, he went back in limited, and then he's back at practice today doing just fine. So thank God, because we were also down without Kene Nwangwu. I know he's dealing with an injury, and Alexander Madison was also a little banged up. So that's literally our running back core right there.
Your running back core right there. All hurt already.
Yeah.
Not even into preseason yet. The injury bug is already hitting.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we can just kind of go, you know, back and forth here as far as how our teams are faring with the training camp and some of the news coming out of it. What's going on over there in Chargerland? You know, one of our biggest themes for years when Phil was the quarterback was we never had an O-line. We never actively pursued trying to better the O-line for our franchise quarterback, which I never understood. That's relatable. I understand.
Which doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. That's the past. But, you know, getting Slater, he had a killer rookie season. This season, it's looking like Zion Johnson. I've been watching some videos of him going up against Mac and stuff, and he's looking good. He's looking very solid, and he's getting a lot of praise from stars on the team. And so, you know, we got Lindsley up the middle, got Slater on the left, you got Johnson at guard, still got Filer. Right tackle's kind of a question with Norton and Pipkins, but they're young enough to where they can kind of make strides as they're moving along. So I'm really looking forward to that there. Like I said, never had an O-line for our franchise quarterback. So finally we're doing something about it now that we got Herbert on the squad.
Which is good, because you definitely want to protect Herbie. No doubt about it.
He's pretty mobile though, so I do like that. He's
sure.
Not Phil. He's not Phil. He was not mobile at all. So
right. No, yeah, that's
having the mobility truly helps.
That's great though to get that upgrade at O-line. One thing coming out of Vikings camp is obviously it's new to the podcast, but people who know me know that I am not a fan of the Vikings center, Garrett Bradbury. And everything that I'm seeing is that he is getting absolutely manhandled. Harrison Phillips at nose tackle has just been literally putting him on his ass play after play after play, to the point where Bradbury is not even taking the number one reps today. So I'm hoping this is the start of him departing.
Weren't you talking about last week looking at what's his name?
J.C. Treader.
Treader, yeah. Weren't you guys?
That's just kind of a fantasy thing of mine.
Thing, yeah.
You know, there's obviously a chance that it could happen, but nothing's been said as far as like progress on that. But I would love to see it. I'm
surprised the Bucks haven't went out and got him.
Yeah, a little bit
with Jensen going down.
Right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I just hope that Bradbury doesn't see the field come season start, because he's just such a liability at center. And
didn't you guys sign Riley Reef?
We used to have him back in the day.
Shoot!
He came from us.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, that's sorry, yeah. I was a little. Okay, yeah. I'm not the most familiar with the Vikings, but okay.
Sure.
Okay, I remember the name though. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got Cook there though, so yeah, you gotta have something solid on the O-line, and he's really fast, and agile and stuff. But you still, I mean, even going back to what I said about Chargers beefing up their O-line, you need an O-line.
You do. Especially because Kirk Cousins, he's not a mobile quarterback. He has flashes where he'll scramble and pick up some yards, maybe a couple first downs, but he's a pocket passer through and through. Just how
he's really good at the play action though.
He is absolutely. He's fantastic.
And that's where I guess I could see that, like a little bit of the mobility. He's definitely not tucking the ball, and he's definitely not tucking the ball and getting, he's not getting those yards for him. But he can do it when need be. But yeah, you definitely cannot rely on him to escape from all the pressure.
Definitely not.
You can't do that.
That's one of his biggest criticisms is he oftentimes kind of looks like a deer in headlights when the pressure
holds on to the ball too long. I've heard a lot about that too.
He does. It's one of the fair criticisms that he receives. But, I mean, behind our offensive line, it's hard to blame him. So, hopefully...
I mean, he's never been one of those... He's never been a quarterback he's never been a runner. So, I don't get that. I get the criticism, but I feel like it's not very super justified because when has he ever been known for his scrambling ability?
Very true. And it's like, with his previous coach, good old Zimmer, he didn't give a shit about his quarterback or any of the quarterbacks we had. The only quarterback that he ever liked that was on our team was Teddy Bridgewater, and he was the only mobile quarterback that we had. So
yeah, mobile. I mean, he definitely was more mobile than Kirk, but definitely he has his flashes, but he's not.
He's no Kyler Murray.
No,
so.
no. Didn't you guys drafted what's his name, Mond?
Kellen Mond,
yeah, and you guys, I mean, even in games where he was like, put him in, like, let's get him some reps. He just declined. He was like, nope, we're not doing that. Let's not.
He was basically a healthy scratch for the entirety of last season, and that kind of brings up a funny story. Is last season, coming down to the wire, got tickets for first time ever heading to Lambeau Field. January Sunday night game, cold as balls, just, a true football game, that you get excited for. Division rivals. We had our tickets purchased, probably September, around there maybe. And about 3 days, I want to say, before, we're getting all excited, especially because, we beat the Packers earlier in the season, which is great. And then if we can beat them at home or on the road, we would be in prime position for a wild card spot. It came down to it where if we lost that game, we were eliminated because it was such a tight race. But about 3 days before, we got the confirmation that Kirk Cousins was inactive due to COVID. And unfortunately, that means we had already paid for the tickets, but we got to drive, 4.5 hours to go watch Sean Mannion play at Lambeau Field. Obviously,
you gotta love good old Mannion.
That went about as well as you can expect. But bringing it back to Kellen Mond, which was so infuriating, was we were getting our asses handed to us the entire game, and Zimmer just would not put Mond in. He just wouldn't give him a try. It's like, what do you got to lose at this point?
Yeah, if you're already kicking the bucket, what's the point of even? I mean, yeah, I get it, like your ego and a little sense of pride that you guys fought until the end, like with all your might, but it's like you drafted the quarterback. Come on, you got to get him some reps in the season.
Exactly, and they did bring him in for, I believe, one play where he completed a pass for 3 yards, and then they took him back out. So
I never understood that. I guess there are some quarterbacks, like when it was Flacco and Lamar Jackson, where they had the trick plays where they could interchange quarterbacks. But I never understood why, if you're just going to throw a quarterback in, just keep him in. I've never understood that.
Yeah, me neither. It is what it is. Right now in training camp, Mannion and Mond have been going back and forth for, the number 2 spot. It seems like Sean Mannion has been struggling a lot. I've been reading reports that he's been underthrowing wide open receivers, which doesn't shock me. But I've also read that Kellen Mond has, been kind of shaky too. The reports are that he's, very slow at making decisions, and needs to work on that.
He is his second year though with 0 playing time. So
Exactly, yeah.
Some of that stuff comes with game time. It comes with the actual experience of a real game.
Right, and we'll
not
see.
Just
Yeah, we'll get to see some
not
of
just
what
practice.
he's learned in the preseason. So I'll be tuning into that for sure.
Yeah, man, I cannot wait. I mean, yeah, the Hall of Fame game is cool, but preseason, you actually get to see some starters go.
Yeah, you'll get to see, a couple series, and then usually I think the second game they'll probably have, a quarter out of your starters, maybe, depending.
Yeah, it's just a little tease, just to get you a little bit excited, getting you in there. One thing about that though, I feel like I think I told you I went to the Chargers and Vikings preseason game a few years back when US Bank Stadium first opened. I think it was the first actual football game there.
Right.
And I think his name was Brandon Oliver. Yeah, Brandon Oliver. He was having some flashes for us, and he was looking real good.
Mm-hmm.
He was very solid, and I remember just sitting there. I was so excited watching him finally, seeing the Chargers in real life. And I don't know, the whole playing starters or people you see potential out of. Yeah, I get it. But I was watching the game, and he ran the ball and popped his Achilles, and I was like, "Oh Lord,
ouch!"
There that goes. I guess.
Yep. That's brutal.
Yeah, it was not good to see.
Well, knock on wood, I haven't seen any reports of injuries coming out of the Chargers camp. It seems that you guys are so far staying healthy, and hopefully it stays that way.
Hey man, don't bring it up.
Right.
Do not bring it up. We don't talk about it, especially with the Chargers. I feel like, yes, every team has injuries, but I just feel like we have an ungodly amount of injuries every single year to key people every single year. It just feels like every year it's one after the other. Something happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking pretty solid. Kenneth Murray, he's out with surgery, or he had surgery. He's recovering right now. But we signed Kyle Van Noy in the offseason, and
that's right.
From what I'm seeing, it's looking like he's a veteran presence. So you can't hate that. You can never hate that. It's always good to have a veteran presence, especially with someone of Van Noy's talents. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and destroy it, but he's a very solid. I feel like he's going to be a key piece of the defense for this season. And,
right. That's why we have Patrick Peterson for the same reason. That veteran presence. So
I always liked him. I always liked him.
Same.
Pat Pete was good, especially coming after you guys got rid of Rhodes.
Yeah,
I like that. And then Rhodes goes to the Colts and doesn't look horrible.
Right.
That's just how it goes.
I'm assuming that good old Khalil Mack's looking pretty good over there. Right?
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, everyone. Oh, you guys gave up way too much for a washed Mac. He's not the person he used to be. Okay, yes, he was hurt last year with a hand injury. Okay, but I think in the amount of games he played, he had a sack per game. So, you can't call him washed, and he's Khalil Mack.
It's still a scary motherfucker, no doubt,
dude. Oh my goodness, reading a bunch of tweets, people. It feels like a common theme. Everyone's like, you look at Mac and he looks like a bitch. He looks like he's just angry at you. And then a lot of them are like, yeah, but when I met him, him and his wife were very nice, very sweet, kind, yada yada. I don't know. Lil Mac, man, he's there's no way he's washed. And from the videos I'm seeing, he looks hungry. He looks nasty. And I talked about it last week. You can't Lil Mac. You're gonna have to focus on him. Even if you think he's washed, you're going to have to put some focus on him, some attention. And then again, you just go to the other side of the line. You got Bosa over there. So I feel like one or the other is just going to have an absolute insane season because of the other one.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, you got to think coming into a new team that's, expected to be pretty dang good, that's got to fire him up even more.
And he had a relationship with Staley. Staley was the defensive coordinator in Chicago.
Okay, well, there you go.
Oh yeah, there was already a little relationship built right there. So, and the video I saw of when Mac was when Mac was entering, when he came to the facility for the first time, it just looked like good old buddies again. Finally seeing each other after a few years of not seeing each other. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I'm just excited for him. One thing I'm really, really looking forward, or waiting for, I guess, is the Derwin James extension.
Yeah.
He's not showing up, like he's going to the practices, but he's not doing contact, like he's not wearing the pads,
Limited
he's not doing that.
participation.
Yeah, but at least he's showing up, so it's none of that I'm completely holding out, like you've seen with a bunch of other players in years past, where I want a contract, so I'm not going to show up to anything that has to do with the team.
Of course, yeah.
And he deserves a payday.
Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna say you gotta get a contract in front of him. You have to.
From what I'm seeing, it's looking like it should be any day now that they actually do sign the contract. Other things I'm seeing too is that he might be the highest paid safety.
I mean, that's. I don't think that's a far-fetched thing.
No, and the funny thing I keep seeing on there is people are like, he's not even better than Jamal Adams. Man, he is 10 times better than Blitz Boy. 10 times better. I don't know. I'm just excited. I can't say it enough. I'm very excited for the season to come.
As it should be. And there's some things for us, coming out of training camp. Our rookie, Andrew Booth Jr., apparently he has been the confidence coming out of that kid has been unmatched. I mean, he's apparently shutting down, Adam Thielen in practice and KJ Osborne, and he's in their face, hyped up to the point where I think it was KJ Osborne. He shut him down and got in his face to the point where Justin Jefferson had to come and, separate them because he's that in your face and confident.
Okay.
So
you love to see that out of a rookie. I mean,
absolutely.
At the same time, he has to. I mean, if you're going to have that type of confidence, you got to show it on the field too. So
absolutely, and
we got to see that.
And it sounds like KJ Osborne has been looking pretty good overall in training camp. I thought he did pretty good last year at the number 3 spot.
Oh yeah. I don't really follow the Vikings all too much, but from the games I watched, he looked very solid for a number 3.
And I mean, he also had to step up basically into the number 2 role once Adam Thielen got hurt. So, I think he's set up to have a pretty dang good year. He's just getting better. But I love seeing a confident, good young rookie on our secondary defensively because we need that. Hopefully Dantzler can kind of return to form. I think that he's glad that Zimmer's gone from some of his tweets.
I think, I don't know. I've seen some reports. I feel like a lot of the Vikings players are uber happy that Zimmer's gone.
Yeah, a lot of them. And
how do you get so hated? Like, what were you doing?
I think it's just he's got such an old school mentality that he doesn't care about anything flashy. I mean, after the final game when Jefferson was going for the franchise record, had plenty of time to give him a chance to do it, and he refused and then said afterwards, I don't care about personal records. All I care about is winning, which we won 8 games. So,
yes, I know it's not the same sport, but Boston Bruins, for instance, they fired their head coach, Bruce Cassidy, and I guess it was like the same type of thing, just an old school guy. And it was crazy to see that the players came out. Like a lot of the players it looks like they just didn't like the coach. And right. I know this is a football podcast, but it's just, I don't understand how you can be so, I wouldn't say hated, because I don't think they hated him, right. But I don't see how you can get so disliked in a locker room. I just feel like you got to be doing something astronomically wrong for your whole entire team to dislike you.
For sure, absolutely. And I haven't heard anything, from a player since he left, being, he did so much for us. We appreciate his time here. There's none of that. So. I
really dislike his guy. Again, not a Vikings fan, but I really, really dislike the comments he made about Cousins and towards Cousins and about Cousins.
Yeah.
I just feel like he was an absolute jerk to him. And again, how are you going to do that? I don't know the exact number of what Cousins is getting paid, but he's getting paid a lot. And isn't it fully guaranteed, like his entire contract? So yeah. You can hate him all you want, but he's going to be your number 1. So
that's your
why wouldn't you try to try to build some bridges instead of burn them.
Right. I mean, the man didn't sit down to watch film with him until last season, and this is, I think, his 5th year with us. So,
oh my goodness, are you serious?
Yeah, it was reported that last season was the first time that he actually would sit down and watch film with Cousins, which is unbelievable.
That's absurd. As the head coach,
that's unbelievable to me.
Especially again for your guy who's gonna be your quarterback no matter what, unless he gets hurt, unless something like that happens. But that's just absurd.
Exactly. But hey, past is the past.
He's gone.
Kevin O'Connell.
He's gone.
I'm already a big fan, and we haven't even made it to games yet. I love watching film of him out there running routes with the receivers and throwing passes and just firing everyone up. I love it. I love it so much. The culture here has shifted immensely. So that's why I'm so confident and so excited for the season. It's just because we have a completely different locker room now as far as atmosphere goes with our coaching staff. It's going to be awesome.
That's huge for the team, too. I mean, even as the Chargers fan, seeing Staley and just, oh, man, it's something we haven't had in a while. And, I mean, even what you just said with Justin Jefferson and how he could have broke the franchise record, Zimmer didn't care. I mean, I think I talked about it last week, but Anthony Lynn, Herbert could have.
Just going to mention that. That probably left a sour taste in some guy's mouth.
He literally could have broke every single quarterback record for a rookie possible, right?
Yep.
And you're just going to be, no. Like, what? How does it affect you? If the season's a lost cause at this point, but you're already determined that this guy's going to be your franchise, your future, why sandbag him? It doesn't make sense at all.
It really doesn't.
I don't get it, but I'm so excited that Staley's in here. He just something we haven't had in a while, and I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of stuff. He's given high praises to Herbert this offseason, and I'm just real excited to see what he can do. He looks like he has the Super Bowl mentality, like the championship mentality. So
hell yes,
really hoping that can transition to the team and how they play this year. So
definitely, the Justins of our teams are going to be special for a long time. Final note for training camp from the Vikings camp. I just want to say a little message to Cincinnati Bengals fans. Fuck you if you think that Jamar Chase is going to have a better season than Justin Jefferson. Just coming out right now and saying it. Jefferson, from what I'm reading, he's bulked up, he's stronger, he's faster, and he's just looks like $1 million out there. So, yeah, we'll see, Bengals fans, at the end of the year. But no way will Jamar Chase finish better than Justin Jefferson.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I remember watching a game last year. It was Bengals versus Chargers, and I'm not gonna lie, Chase absolutely torched Mike Davis, and then he had the ball in his hand for like 2 seconds, and then popped on out, and Davis got an INT off of it.
Nice.
And
don't get me wrong.
It's so funny.
In no way am I saying that Jamar Chase is anything, but he's solid for sure. He looked incredible, but I've seen a lot of Bengals fans making the comparison, and I just saw yesterday a quote that Jamar Chase said he is absolutely better than Justin Jefferson. So
I don't get that. Why do you
guys.
go after? I don't get that. Why do you go after specific players? I
think it's because they're former teammates, so it's like a
Oh, LSU.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little rivalry.
Okay, thing. That's more of like a brother friend.
It is absolutely
not like a fuck you, Jefferson. Okay,
no hostility, but there's more hostility on my end because that's my guy. So
you guys just have beef with everyone.
It seems like it. That never used to be that way, but
social media. That's what done did it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But is what it is. Moving on from training camp news from the Vikings. Anything else coming out of Chargers camp that's notable?
Yeah, I mean, we drafted this running back, Isaiah Spiller, and we haven't had a solid number 2 in a while. Like, yeah, they tried out, like, they did the little failed experiment with Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly, Larry Roundtree. Like, they all had some flashes, like, they looked decent, but they never just panned out to be that solid number 2 because Eckler does everything. He's a phenomenal runner. He's a phenomenal receiver. Like, he does everything. So he's got to get a break here and there. And
for sure,
what I'm seeing is Spiller's looking mighty fine to step into that number 2 role. hoping it's not like it was with Justin Jackson, where he had a few flashes and we're like, yep, this is the guy who's going to be number 2, and then he just shits the bed later on. Really hoping it's not that. And I guess one more thing, Joshua Palmer, seeing some routes, seeing some videos. He's looking really good. I like Guyton, but Guyton, I think, dropped a lot of passes last year that he should not have dropped. And so I'm really hoping that Palmer can step into that number 3 role and really take that over, because you got to solidify 1 and 2, Allen and Williams. So that'd be really, really nice to see Palmer step into that number 3. You know, you got signed Gerald Everett this offseason, so you got a solid receiving tight end.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting weapons all over the field.
Oh, yeah. Herbert's going to eat this year, no doubt.
Dude, I've been looking, like I told you last week, I've been looking at a lot of spot bets in sports.
Yep.
For the Chargers, and there are some of them that I'm seeing for Herbie that I might throw some money onto.
I wouldn't blame me at all. You guys also extended or re-signed Mike Will, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
Nice.
3 years. So we got him for 3 years right now. I'm really hoping that he can. He didn't take as much money as I thought he was going to take. So got him around for a while. Got Allen locked up. So got weapons to come.
Hell yeah.
Time to come. My bad. Time to come.
It's nice to lock up some of those key factors. Moving on to some guys who did not re-sign with their teams. Maybe go over a few guys here, some predictions as to how we think they're going to do. One guy we didn't mention last week, I know, Baker Mayfield heading to Carolina, free from that shit circus that is Cleveland. Got any thoughts on how he's going to do? You think he can return to somewhat decent form after the injury?
I'm going to be honest. I have never been a gigantic Baker fan. I'm not saying I thought he was a bad quarterback, but I think at times he was way overhyped. Mm-hmm. But if CMC can be healthy this year, I don't know what's going on with Robbie Anderson. I don't know if he was. I know at some point during the offseason he was thinking of retiring, but I think that might have been because of Darnold. I'm not too sure.
I wouldn't doubt
so
it.
if he's going to come back and the CMC can be healthy and you got more, I think it could be solid. But again, I just go back to Baker had Odell and Landry. And he didn't make it done. And then you even saw it, as soon as Odell left Baker, he did good. He did solid. So yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying Baker's bad, but.
And I mean, there's, a couple different versions of Baker. There is, the Baker that, that wasn't all him, obviously. He heavily relied on the running game, but he did turn that franchise around, get them back into the playoffs, and win a, road playoff game in their own division.
One thing I will say is, he has that dog in him. Like whenever he's going in, like I forgot, I don't know who they were playing against or the place, like off the top of my head, but there was a play where he ran the ball and he was wearing a shoulder, like one of those, I don't know what you call it. I wouldn't say a sling, but like maybe a harness or something. Yeah. Yep, a harness. And he got rocked and he got up and was hyped. Livid hyped. Like,
I know the exact play you're talking about. I can't put my
finger
on who it was, but
it's just like, yeah, he's solid, and I can't hate on him, but I just don't think I don't think Carolina's built for that,
Yeah, no, I don't think that he's gonna, change their franchise too much. I definitely think he's the big step up from Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, I think the Darnold experience, needs to end. Let's be honest.
He's younger though, isn't he?
He's young, but I'm not impressed. I thought maybe leaving New York, he'd have a little bit more success, but I mean, he looked like shit. He got benched for PJ Walker, an XFL guy, returning
That's
Cam
true.
Newton.
Hey man, hey, I will say, Cam's not the same player anymore, but I don't know why. Growing up, Cam was that player. Watching him play, I love Cam. Yeah. Well, the one thing I guess I would say I disliked about him is his little celebrations when he'd do like 15 of them in a row. It's like, okay, man, we get it. You're cool. I was really rooting for him when he came back. Like the game where he came back, first game, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Oh yeah, against Arizona.
I was really hoping maybe that would have started something because I liked him in New England. I didn't think he was horrible. I don't know. He's still saying that he thinks he can be a starting quarterback, and
I mean,
I'm not saying I think he will be, but
I mean,
he's
if
Cam,
you
man.
look at him, the dude's in like the best shape of his life. It's crazy. So,
And you got a 6. I don't know his exact height, but he's like
probably
6'5",
6'5",
6'6".
he's big.
6'5", 6'6", just gigantic mobile quarterback. Like, come on, man.
Right. He's at least a useful weapon. So
Yeah, maybe like the role he played where he just come in for running rushes, but that's besides the point. I think it depends on the weapons. I think if CMC can be healthy,
that's big. Yes.
I don't see how Baker could possibly do bad. But again, I just go back to Odell. He had Chubb, Hunt, Odell, Landry.
Yeah.
How do you not make that work?
Right.
I don't know. I don't think he does bad. I sure shit do think he does better than Darnold.
Yeah, I think he'll do okay, but I don't think he really turns the franchise around. I think, they'll still be kind of middling in their division.
And I think didn't the Browns take up a bit of his contract too, so it's not like they're hindered.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's what was delaying the trade. I think like it was imminent that it was going to happen for a bit, but they were just trying to figure out the dollars.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just have to find out. A guy that we kind of touched on last week, Tyreek Hill, heading to Miami.
Dummy.
Crazy. I'm very curious to see what it's going to look like, though, going from Patrick Mahomes to Tua.
Oh, I mean, as Tyreek has said, Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the league. Tua turned the ball over.
Yeah.
Is the most accurate quarterback in the league. But get out of here. I don't know. I don't know what Hill is smoking, but I don't think he's going to be the same.
No, but I've seen some footage from their practices, and, he's been hitting them on the deep ball, which, is going to be his big weapon downfield. You got Jalen
and
Waddle
Waddle.
on the other
you got to
side.
think of Waddle, too, yeah.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins are a playoff team, potentially.
Hey, I have a hatred for Dolphins fans. They are super annoying when it comes to the Herbert versus Tua. I don't know what the dude's Twitter account name is, but his name on his I don't know whatever you call it, like not his actual username, but the name he shows.
Yeah.
It's like Tua Stan or whatever. He has like 17,000 followers or something like that. Every single Chargers tweet within like a minute, if it has to do with Herbert, it's instantly overrated, overhyped. Tua's better. And it's like, man,
that's just stupid trolling because nobody.
Yeah, it's
nobody would think that. Like, come on.
I don't know. I don't think Hill's going to be the same though. I'm not going to say I think Tua's bad, but I don't think Tua's anywhere near Mahomes'
for sure
skill level. I think Hill is just trying to.
You got paid.
I mean, yeah, and I get what he's doing. He's hyping his quarterback up, which is what you do. Right. But I think what he's saying is a little extreme.
Yeah, but I do think the Dolphins are definitely a decent team. I mean, 2 years ago they were a 10-win team that still sadly missed the playoffs, and last year they went on that. They started with like 1-5, and then like rattled off, I don't know, 8 wins in a row, maybe 9 wins in a row. Came up just shy.
Was it last year that Fitz had to take over for Tua at some point though?
No, last year Fitz was in Washington and got hurt right away.
Was it 2 years ago then?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Okay. I was gonna say that one play where he. I think you're gonna know it. Yeah, the face mask where he got his head ripped off, launched it down the field, and still completed it. That is one of my favorite plays I've ever seen.
Well, hey, we can take a quick moment to give a shout out to Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic,
Harvard grad,
on his retirement. Sadly, he won't make the Hall of Fame, from what I hear. I think you have to have a Super Bowl ring.
Hey, man, we're not getting into that.
No.
Nope. You don't have to have a Super Bowl ring to get into the Hall of Fame. We talked about it last week. Phil's getting in, and he doesn't have a ring.
I'm just giving you shit. But,
although I will say,
Fitzmagic's great.
the press conference when he came out wearing Deshaun Jackson's sunglasses, chain, and his leather jacket.
Button.
Goated.
His chest hair popping out. That was the
Yo,
greatest.
dude, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Fitzmagic is just a gangster.
Totally. He will be missed. Another receiver that changed up on teams. I'm wondering if he might have a little bit more success now with a good quarterback is Juju Smith-Schuster. Not a huge fan of him, but he's not a bad receiver, and now he's, got Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek Hill. He's probably going to get more looks, I think.
I think that's what they're trying to make up for is the fact that Hill left, and they're trying to get Juju in there, but they're not the same players at all.
No.
I don't want to bring up the whole TikTok aspect of things on the reason why I don't like Juju, but I don't think he's that great. But I do think having a new solid quarterback will help him out immensely.
For sure. That's kind of all I have to say about him. We touched on it again last week as well a little bit, but with some updated news. Russell Wilson in Denver. News coming out yesterday.
Let's ride.
Tim Patrick out for the season with a torn ACL. Was curious.
He's a very solid tight end too,
and
very solid.
Yeah, done for the year. Out.
Hey man, you don't like to see injuries, no matter the team. Yeah, Chargers fan in division. No matter the team, you hate to see injuries like that. But I don't know. It's Russ. I think he's a solid quarterback, and I think he can get the job done. Right. I think he will get the job done with Denver. We touched on it last week too. I really can. I don't know. I could see the 2 and 3 in the. I already have number 1 in my mind, but for 2 and 3, I could easily see because I think that's the best division in football. I can easily see 3 of the 4 teams making the
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, I could easily see that happening, and I don't think that's far fetched either. So I don't think Russ is going to do bad.
No.
Jerry Jeudy solid, Javonte Williams solid,
absolutely, and I'm looking at his stats. Last year 53 receptions, 734 yards, 5 touchdowns. Nothing crazy, but still a bit of a blow. So we'll just have to. We'll have to see.
Is he a tight end or a wide receiver?
He's a wide receiver.
Oh, I thought he was a tight end.
No.
Oh, that's on me then. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think the Broncos are bad by any means.
Oh no.
And like I was saying, I think they were a solid quarterback away from getting over that hump again. You had Drew Lock and Teddy B. I don't
totally agree.
No hate to Teddy B because as a Minnesotan, there was always going to be a place in my heart for Teddy. Teddy Two Gloves, but he was not getting the job done.
No, and he's no Russell Wilson. So is what it is.
Not even close. Not even close.
Definitely not. Another one that kind of Let's ride. Another one that kind of surprised me on draft night was the trade Hollywood Brown. That one kind of surprised me.
D-Hop suspended for 6 games, correct?
Correct, yes.
And I don't know, I tell me if I'm wrong, but did Kyler and Brown play together in college?
I'm not sure about that.
Give me 1 second. But I'm almost certain.
But I kind of like the move for Arizona. Christian Kirk obviously went to Jacksonville with that nice contract. D-Hop, suspended.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yep. Hollywood Brown and Kyler played in college together.
Nice. Okay. Well, they already got that built in. Plus, Kyler Murray just got that big old fat contract. 5 years, $230 million. I guess
he's got to put down that
160.
Put down the Xbox controller.
Yep.
Put down the Xbox controller, man.
Yeah.
That was funny though. In the they took it out too. They took out where he had to study each week because the fans were mad at that.
Yep. But I like the fit. I will
love
say,
him. Yeah.
I was a little surprised that he got some flack for. It's not like he got to choose, but some flack for leaving Baltimore. And I mean, I remember one game for sure last season where he dropped 3 touchdowns in one game. Like,
oh yeah, yep.
Like right on his hands, easy catch. So we'll see. He's
I
good.
think with the college chemistry there, I think you're gonna have something.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if we touched on this one yet, but what about AJ Brown to the Eagles?
Philly, that's right.
That happened draft night too.
It did. Absolutely. That one.
How do you think he's gonna do with Hurts?
Because I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, yet. He's had some glimpses.
Nope.
He's great at running, obviously. He's had some, glimpses of success in the passing game, but I don't know. I'm not sold on him yet.
Not yet.
But
Tannehill. They got Devontae Smith too.
Yeah. I think the move definitely benefits AJ Brown because from everything I've read, he's clearly unhappy with Tennessee organization. So,
it's because he's not the number one. He's not the star of the offense. It was already solidified that Derrick Henry is undoubtedly
the guy,
the best player on your team, and the guy for your team.
Yeah, but I
don't know. I like the move.
I like the move.
2 solid receivers. You got 2 solid receivers. I get what you were saying. I'm not completely sold on Hurts yet either, but he's definitely not bad, and he's young.
Oh, yeah, he's got potential.
Develop him, and I always like that when teams are able to get. I don't know if I'm going to say solidify because Devontae, he's only had a few years in, but I guess I would say that solidified star players around your young or rookie quarterback. I know Hurts isn't a rookie anymore, but he's young,
right?
And I like when teams do that when they're able to get some star power around, build around the guy. Because even if Hurts is not the answer, both of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are young enough to where, again, I'm not bad, nor are they going to move on from them. But 2-3 years down the line, if they decide that Hurts is not the guy for them, both of those receivers are young, and
absolutely.
So if someone comes in next, you again already got star players around your quarterback.
Yep, I totally agree. Last guy that I'll bring up, kind of curious. I don't remember if we mentioned him or not. Matt Ryan heading to Indy.
No, we did not.
I'm intrigued by it because I like him in that position more than I liked Carson Wentz. Because I still think that Matty Ice has a little bit of something in him. So.
Hey, remember that buddy I was telling you about who does all the bets? He actually hit me up this week, and he's placed bets on the Colts taking the division.
Wow, yeah.
He's very confident in Matt Ryan.
I don't think that's too out of the realm of possibility. I still think Matty Ice has something to offer a team. I mean, he's out of Atlanta. Atlanta's kind of set up to be a dumpster fire of a team this season, from the looks of it.
Well, yeah. Kyle Pitts, though. I mean,
oh yeah, but
just amazing. But yes, the rest of the team is who's their starter? Isn't it Mariota?
I believe it is. Yeah. And
Mariota's not bad, but he's definitely not.
You don't get to throw to Calvin Ridley because he will not be there all season. So,
oh man, we had a conversation about that last night
for sure.
I think Ryan's going to do solid. I don't think he's going to do bad, and I definitely think he's going to do far better than Carson Wentz.
Agreed. And hey, turn around.
How do you lose to the Jags?
I'll never understand that.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that like if they won, they
win you're in, lose you're out?
Yup, that's what it was. And everyone was like, "There's no shot they lose. There's no way." And then they lose.
It was essentially a playoff game, yeah.
How do you do that, man? And he's now in Washington.
Yeah, which I don't really have high hopes for him there either.
He was solid with the Eagles. He was solid.
He was.
And then he kind of just started to take a poop.
I think it was that injury in 2017 when he was playing like an MVP. What was it? I think he went down with an ACL, and
Yeah, it was ACL.
he really hasn't been the same since.
The one thing I will say about the Colts, though, is I really like what they've been doing with quarterbacks. I find it any time I could possibly throw his name in there.
Of course.
They've all they've had is star quarterbacks for years.
Mm-hmm.
You go from Luck. Yeah, Brissett was in there for a little bit.
You go from Peyton to Luck.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know why I didn't mention Peyton. You go Peyton, Luck, and like I said, Brissett was in there for a bit. But then you got the man, the myth, the legend, Phil. Oh man!
And then you go Philip Rivers,
Wentz, and then Matt Ryan. I don't know. I really like it's. I've always said that about the Colts. It's very odd, but they somehow always have a quarterback that is not bad.
Right.
Besides Wentz. Wentz kind of crapped the bed last year, but I think Ryan's going to do solid.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how that plays out. I always love when a big name quarterback switches teams. It's always so interesting to see how they perform in a new environment. I mean, watching, the big one for me was Favre to Minnesota.
Yep.
That was huge.
Yep.
I mean, we saw his little stint in New York with the
New
Jets,
York.
which was interesting, but it was all about him coming here. But like Russell Wilson changing teams, that's a big deal. That's going to be awesome to watch. Peyton
was probably the biggest one when it was like he just had neck surgery and we don't know if he's going to be the same person again. And he came out probably had the best season a quarterback will. The game's evolving, so I don't know if I'll say ever, but up to date, best season a quarterback's ever had.
Right, and then a Super Bowl following that next season.
Oh yeah.
So.
And then he just made everyone on the team look phenomenal. Yeah, Demaryius Thomas was amazing even without Peyton. Rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas.
Absolutely.
Julius Thomas did amazing with Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
He left Denver, got his payday, wasn't the same person again.
Yep.
Just funny. I mean, again,
Stuff of legends.
Philip Rivers to the Colts.
I
mean, the playoffs in 1 year.
And probably not. I mean, we're kind of glancing over what is probably actually the biggest one was Tom Brady to go and win a Super Bowl first year with the Bucs. So
everyone,
happy birthday, by the way, to Tom Brady. Today is his 45th birthday. Happy birthday to the GOAT. I know you're listening,
old
Tom.
Fuck.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, Tom's tuning in. I'll tweet at Tom after this. Hopefully, we'll get him to listen.
Yeah, for sure.
The comment I made probably won't entice him to, but that's besides the point. Belichick or Brady? I don't think it was Belichick. I think it was Brady.
Yeah.
I think he proved it by going to a completely new team and winning a Super Bowl.
I'm with you.
Instantly.
I'm with you.
Just unheard of.
Absolutely. Well, listen, everybody. Yeah. We appreciate you guys for always, giving us the great feedback in the first episode, and hopefully, you continue that with this one and going forward. I think we'll save the full breakdown predictions podcast for right before the season starts. Just so that way we get through preseason, we can gauge injuries, anything that happens.
Yep.
But
I guess I would say. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. You can't... Yeah, I don't think you can... Because, I mean, even fantasy football, you don't do drafts up until
right before, yeah.
Yeah, because you can never tell with what's going to happen with injury, so yeah.
Exactly. And, maybe, these next couple weeks leading up to that, never say never. We might maybe feature a couple special guests on the show and, maybe have some fun with that.
Yeah.
But,
I've had a few buddies already reach out and be like, dude, that was cool. It just sounded like two friends talking about football. Any shot I could try to get on there. I love football so much.
Hell yes.
Well, we'll try to see. We'll see what happens.
Hell yes. So that's kind of what we can expect going forward. We'll obviously keep tabs on our teams and any big NFL news that we'll tackle each week, pun intended. And yeah.
That's a knee slapper right there.
You like that? You like that, Cactus Joe? Oh yeah, you betcha.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't you know?
Oh, you betcha. Thank you guys.
This episode was a bit longer.
It was, yeah, a little bit longer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week for another episode. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and let's keep this thing growing because we're very excited about this and looking forward to it. So, Cactus Joe, I
loving
will
the feedback.
see you next time, brother.
Heck yeah. All right, man. I look forward to it. I mean, you even touched on it. Really excited where this is going, so I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Adios.
And it goes a little something like.
I'll keep love you warm all summer and after fall.